Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Sevens. This one a crucial one for Fiji as well as France. It is the bronze medal final of the first leg in the Sevens series, and we are looking through at these starting lineups, I should say. They are absolutely stacked. Nice early morning start for us here in New Zealand at 4:03 a.m. kickoff. We're looking through at these starting sides. They are going to be as follows: Delamere once again in the starting side, alongside Bohir, Jordan Sefo, Stephen Perez-Martin, Dezay, Mignot, and then also Leflamont, I believe it is, as the last man. In the French starting lineup for the Fijians, it is Josefa Talatholo, Sefo Mothanafangi, Jeremiah Matana, Narongo gets himself the start alongside Taria Vailawa, Vuiviwa Nadovalo, who has been an absolute superstar throughout the Sevens competition so far, and then George Balsi, last man on the starting side. Did you get any sleep? I did not know. We are still continuing the all-nighter at the moment. They are showing in the background. Is there some rain falling in Dubai? I really hope that's not the case, as we do want to see this game played without any sort of handling errors for these two sides. And Fiji could hit the French hard. It's a tough call, says Roof in there as well. And currently, the last two times that these two sides have played, France have been able to get the wins, including in the group stage of this contest. We did see the 5-point victory in favour of the French. That actually stopped the Fijians from getting into the final with New Zealand, theoretically, as they would have liked to play up against someone other than the Kiwis in the semi-final. But it just means that this game is going to mean that little bit more bronze medal chance. Weather says Ruth at the moment, it is still warm in Dubai. Humidity is still relatively high. It is an evening contest, so that will hopefully mean that it's not going to be too brutal on the body for these two sides, plus the fact that this is only their second game of the day rather than the three matches that we did see yesterday. Both sides just about to make their way out onto the field, getting ready to go for this contest. Pauline Riva, of course, one to keep an eye on off the bench here for the French. Jeremiah Matana, the other captain, gets the start in this contest for the Fijians. Just feel like this game, both sides would have felt like they did enough throughout this competition to make it through to the final. For the Fijians, they are actually on a two-match losing streak. In both of their games that they have lost, they were able to score themselves 3 tries, but were beaten by France, 24 points to 19, and up against the Kiwis in just that semi-final not too long ago, 24 points to the 24 to 21. In fact, the score was there. For France, they've had an up-and-down kind of competition. They were beaten by South Africa in their opening contest, but from there got themselves 2 wins in a row, and then they lost that match of the semi-finals up against the Australians. We have got Hamish. Should be exciting, says Ruth. Hopefully it is going to be a really strong game. A great way to start. Oh, another kid going for the big dive. Just looks like it hurts, to be fair. I don't think he's the first kid either who's run out with a match ball and decided to go for the slow-motion big dive onto the field. They're going to show the replay now, but he really, he should be winded here. You see the big slamming down. That kind of felt nice. Probably got a broken rib, but ready to go for this contest. France kicking off from left to right, and we are underway for another match of the Dubai Sevens, a bronze final. And this one, a little bit on the line at the moment for these two sides. Some extra points on offer here. You don't want to be losing it. And this matchup, I was shocked that Japan women beat Fiji women in the third place decider. Yeah, they actually played really well in that game, the Japanese. And out of those two sides in the semi-finals of the women's side of the draw, people would have said that Fiji looked the more dangerous. But no, Japan did very well. Nice run here from Taria Vailawa. They normally only use him as the impact player off the bench for the Fijians. Doesn't often get the start unless it is for the last match of the competition, although they're Mr. Kiwi Sir, which two teams are in the final. So it is New Zealand versus Australia in both the men and the women's legs, or matches, sorry, in the final. Jordan Sefo getting driven, trying to drive Taria Vailawa backwards. Currently Fiji only a couple metres out from their try line. Jeremiah Matana, that is a risky one-handed offload. Fiji in their in-goal area, and this will be a 5-metre scrum now for the French. I think Fiji just tried to get a little bit too fancy there. And this is going to be one of those opportunities where France will well and truly be happy with it. I've just mentioned there how sometimes Fiji's style can look a little bit crazy, but it is certainly effective when they do get it right. Very physical, says Roof. If the Black Ferns win, it will mean that they would have the same number of wins and losses as the Australian women in this tournament, says Jasmine. If the Black Ferns win, it will mean that they have the same number of wins I assume you're talking as this Dubai Sevens as a whole. I also know that Australia are trying to set some sort of record if they get the win in the Dubai Sevens. I think it would be 5 in a row or something along those lines for the Aussies. Now off to the left-hand side. Nice step there from France, looking to reach out, can't quite get there. Steven Perez-Martin waiting for this ball on the right-hand side. Jordan Sefo bumps off the Fijian defence and Jeremiah Matana, but they will go back for the original penalty. Yes, Justice Dubai Sevens, says Jasmine there. And also it is Australia versus New Zealand, says Rory. Too fancy, keep it simple, says Ruth. Now France are going to go for the quick tap again with Steven Perez-Martin. It's a good move here as they are right on the verge of scoring and they get through this time. And a very nice try for the French to give them the lead. The earliest stages of this contest. We're going to add the points on the board. There we go. It's going to be Bohea who does manage to score it. Steven Perez-Martin popping it up to him. Just 5 metres out from the line and breaking through and scoring. Give the French the lead, and that kick has gone over as well. So now making the score 7-0 in favour of the French. There's a man dressed as a unicorn walking around the ground in Dubai. We haven't seen a huge amount of costumes so far in terms of the crowd cam, although with where the field is compared to the crowd, it is actually very hard to spot them. And Black Ferns will not, or will need, I assume that's need to shut down Maddie Levi in there from Novmum. But yeah, she will be a danger. I think that there are a couple other really handy players in that Australian side too. Tegan Levi, she is the occasional handling error, but she actually sets up quite a few tries for the Aussies. Madison Ashby, she's in some phenomenal form at the moment, manually doing the points. That's new to me at least, says Rory. Yeah, they used to cover it on flash score, but now they don't. This is a big run forward from George Balsey towards the corner, and Steven Perez-Martin dragged him down just short, and then Jeremiah Matana gets the offload from his Fijian teammate and does get the try. But yeah, because of the fact that it's down to the 8 sides, they have actually, I assume Flash Score have decided that they no longer want to cover it. So that means that I have to do it all manually, adding them in. So sometimes it will be a little bit behind. But hopefully it isn't too bad. But nice run forward from George Balsey to be able to break out of that initial tackle attempt from the French and then just flying down the wing. He was winning that foot race up against Liam Delamere, but then Steven Perez-Martin, he was not giving up and eventually made a very good tackle on Balsey, just 2 metres short of the try line. But then that offloading game of Fiji still featuring. That one's going to miss away to the side. Score at this point in time will remain in favour of the French by the 2 points. It's going to be kicked off by the Fijians. Nicely claimed again by France. And that ball's come out the side. Penalty goes the way of the French for Fiji not rolling away. Now Steven Perez-Martin. It sounds like they are calling for the scrum here, the French. So just trying to get some sort of set piece going from inside of their own half. Okay, there, try. Fiji hit back going to be brutal, says Ruth. And already we've seen 20 passes made by the Fijians compared to the 4 of the French. So they have been the more clinical side out there on the field just at this point with the 2-point lead. Steven Perez-Martin does feed that one in, trying to play him early with Toreo Vailawa. Now trying to step it is Mignot. Steven Perez-Martin, 20 metres out from their own line. Here comes the run from France. The driving tackle. There's just no slide out there on the field. Desai just getting slammed into the turf and not really moving at all, just digging in at his knees. Now passed on the outside. Delamere. Thought about the offload, but Josefa Talatholo is all over him. 90 seconds remaining. Well, looks like Talatholo may have actually hurt himself in the process of making that tackle. A little bit slow back up to his feet, but France looking to get their back line going again with Jordan Sefo on the near side. Steps back in. His teammate was not expecting it to say. Thought that Sefo was going to take contact. Instead, the offload came and the ball was dropped. Going to see the replay now. Sefo just stepping across. Oh, in fact, it was knocked out of the hands by Voivewa Nadolvalo. Actually forced that knock on from the French. I said that is not a deliberate knockdown because the ball was still in his hand. So Fiji have got themselves a scrum feed. 40 seconds remaining in this first half. As Toreo Valawa gets ready to feed this ball in again for the Fijians. I think whoever has more of the ball in the second half is probably going to win this game. Hasn't been a huge amount of time with possession for the Fijians, with the exception of the early stages. Ty Trini Queen has said, hi everyone, welcome in, hope you're doing well. Another big run coming forward from, would have been, I think it was Narongo. Scored a couple tries already on debut in Dubai. Big offload from Josefa Talatholo. George Balsi sells the dummy. And now Vuiviwana Dovalo, he's through again. I don't think anyone's going to catch up to him in terms of the amount of tries that he has been able to score throughout this competition. He has had twice, or in fact once that he got a double. Another game he got a hat-trick, and now he is up to 6 tries in total for the Dubai Sevens. We've got to remember, this is only the 5th game that they are playing in. It is a great try for the Fijians, scoring it just before that halftime break. We will update the score. We'll go like that. It should be an easy enough kick, but we could be wrong. Ambok name change. Evan Eyes and Meth. A Rory original, you're welcome. Says Rory. So what's the Meth come out of from it? I get the eyes part of it, but what's the Meth part for? Look at that, 12 chasing 12. There's Jasmine there. Hi everyone. And how much power in these front rowers, and their kick has missed the way to the side. So the score at halftime in this contest is 10 points to 7. Fiji, they are leading by the 3 points. I don't think it's going to be enough yet. They would need 1 or 2 more tries to be able to secure this game, get themselves that bronze medal for the Dubai Sevens. Currently still some great players for both sides to make their way off the bench. Filippo Bukayaro there for the Fijians alongside Waisia Natungu. Manueli Maisamoa may get to feature in this contest. Bakadrano and also Sanila is there for the Fijians as well. Off the bench for the French, they've got Ato, they've got Andy Timo, Pauline Riva, Postelgaze, and also Zedar. There too. Only way I can make it sound anything like his actual name, forgetting his off his head to do what he did, says Rory. Fair enough. Yeah, it was a little bit of a brain fade from Evan Etzebeth. And we have got there, haha, funny, says Ruth. I've noticed that reading out haha doesn't work as well, does it? So I'm sure Ruth did enjoy that one of the Etzebeth naming though. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what he's going to end up with in terms of suspension-wise, or whether they're going to, you know, there could be anywhere between 6 weeks and 6 months, to be honest. Just showing all the Black Friday sales that are going on at the moment. We're already in December here in New Zealand. I am funny looking, says Rory there. And Rory, Irish or Scottish, says Ruth. Now just showing the hype package for the Sevens. Of course, Cape Town is just around the corner. That is taking place next week. We will be covering those matches on the channel alongside the Champions Cup and some of the Challenge Cup, hopefully with a little bit of luck too. So be sure, stick around for that. It is your birthday soon. That is true, yeah. Tomorrow, New Zealand time. But 2 days' time if you are in South Africa. Just showing there, Georgia Miller warming up. Maddie Levi warming up for the Aussies as well. And then, yes, Rory says, Rory there. Now, Taria Vailawa ready to kick this one off. Getting it underway. Nicely taken there. It is actually a good challenge in the air by both men, but it does go on the side of the French. Referee calls it unplayable, so it does become the scrum in favour of the French. Happy birthday for the second, Rory. Do appreciate it. I think I said that. I think I just read that out as if it was your birthday, Rory. Is it your birthday? Are you also a December child? Yeah, Josefa Talatholo going up for that ball and just couldn't rip it away. Now scrum feed for Les Bleus. Looks like another change is about to be made. Leferman make his way off. Currently 6 minutes. It's a long time in sevens. We saw that comeback from the Fijians in the game up against New Zealand. Some thought that New Zealand had that game secured, but it did get a lot closer than people did anticipate. Happy birthday, fellow Sagittarius. Says Purple Dragon. A nice step there from France. Thought about the offload on the outside. Dezay getting wrestled almost into touch. We have got there, I like your jersey, smart. Says Jeremy Jacobs there. Yeah, it is greatly appreciated you tuning in. I'm actually going, the t-shirt today, just purely because it is too warm to have the jersey on, or else I'd be sweating flat out. I'm born on the friendliest sounding day of the year, May 8th. Or mate, says Rory. And Al Mignot trying to find his way through. Another big driving tackle from George Balsi. There certainly hasn't been a lack of physicality for these two sides out there on the park. It's been a real mixed bag as well from what we have seen in terms of performances from these two teams. Taria Vailawa breaks his way through, and he will score the try for Fiji. This one will be between the posts as well. So this would not quite be enough, but I'd say it's getting pretty close now for the Fijians. But Taria Vailawa, he still had a lot of work to do at the time that he received that ball. It was loose. He picked it up. Well, in fact, it was George Balsi who popped it off to Taria Vailawa. Then a missed tackle attempt there from Jordan Sefu, who kind of just fell over himself. I thought he was going for an ankle tap initially, but he didn't even get close. Well, g'day, Hamish. You're looking absolutely fabulous again in that black hoodie or sweatshirt. See his roof there. And also Rory, in Irish, means chaotic fun. Are you that guy, Rory? Says Jimbo. Rory has said Hamish is a handsome dude. I think that answers your question, Jimbo. Taria Vailawa, he's had 56 tries. His debut was in 2018. And like I mentioned, since then he has been playing a lot more off the bench. Energy sapping double from the Fijians. Says Jimbo, and yeah, you can see already some fatigue showing there for the French. Delamere just putting his hands on his knees. We see there Manueli Mai-Samoa making his way onto the field. He was one of the players that a lot of people were, at least from what I saw on the Fijian Instagram, saying that he didn't deserve to be there. So that's pretty rough, but he also hasn't really played throughout this match, so probably could be described as chaotic fun. If it is December, it means my birthday is next month. Says Jasmine there. Now Stephen Perez-Martin offloads to Andy Timu, one of the replacements. Has made his way onto the field for the French. Back across to the right-hand side, Mignot. Going on, Desire. Goes to Delamere. He slammed his head on the ground pretty hard there, and there was a knock-on the ground too. And yeah, he's a little bit slow getting up to his feet here, Delamere. That is from how he landed after that tackle was made. I think he was also just hoping to catch his breath a little bit, but we're going to see the slamming tackle from Vakadrano. Just brings him around. Oh, tell you what, he has done actually extremely well to avoid hitting his head on the ground there. He's pretty much kept his forearm almost like up enough to be able to stop that head from connecting. Now 4 minutes remaining. This bronze medal final, the Fijians, they are ahead by the 10 points. So currently they will be feeling they're stepping one little bit closer to being able to get themselves that bronze. But after that game up against New Zealand, and after some of the comebacks that we have seen throughout this Dubai Sevens competition, you just know that you need that final whistle to blow before you've won the game. Taria Vailawa going back into the pocket to George Balsi, who for me has actually been one of the standout players for Fiji throughout this competition, alongside Vuiviwa Nadovalo with his 6 tries. Now Big Fend going down the wing. Another great low tackle made on Narongo. 3 Frenchmen in the breakdown. Ball pops out the back, and that one's going very close to the sideline. Taria Vailawa with the slinging pass. It bounces into the hands of Josefa Talafolo. Over the top now to Vuiviwa Nadovalo. Now stepping, George Balsi back on the inside to Vakadrano. Gets back up to his feet, is able to go again as he wasn't held. He's going to be held here by Andy Timu. Now Bossi. Oh, Salah the dummy there. Taria Vailawa causing all sorts of problems for this French defence. Pace being shown, but that is brilliant in terms of the tackle that was made round the bootlaces and Fiji driven into touch. It looked like Sanila was potentially going to break down the wing. But France making that last-ditch effort. They are showing that they want to win this game. And with a bit of defence like that, maybe they still believe that they can. But Taria Vailawa, another big seller to dummy. Just showing how dangerous he can be if he is in the starting lineup. And then on the short side, the scrambling defence from France doing enough to push him into touch. Looks like Taria Vailawa currently down with maybe some sort of injury. I think they are going to make this switch. And Filippo Bucayaro makes his way on. 2 minutes still loads of time, says Jasmine. Absolutely, France. They do need to go about 90 metres, and they've just lost their own line out. So that is not going to help as Fiji now get themselves a counter-attacking chance. Manueli Mai-Samoa, he just got clotheslined by Pauline Riva. Referee gets tackled, and Manueli Mai-Samoa scores the try. We've heard the whistle now blown by the referee. Pauline Riva, tell you what, he's in an eventful minute or so. He tried to clothesline Manueli Mai-Samoa, smacked him in the forehead, then tackled the ref. Right, I think we were just hearing there Pauline River. Oh, ref was just in the wrong place, wrong time there. And his spine will be sore tomorrow as he took a nasty knock to the back. Emmanuel Moisamo, great dive there. Looks like referee AJ Jacobs is going to be all right. Just doing a little bit of stretching here by the looks of it. Making sure that his back's going to be all right. Did he eye gouge anyone? He did not. He did a clothesline, he did a tackle on the ref, but did not put his finger in anyone's eye. And it might be too late for France, I think so. 24 points to 7 now with 1 minute 30 remaining. They have got themselves the penalty at least, but they weren't on the mark. About a metre in front there. Emmanuel Moisamo confused at why he's been penalised. Also, French have to tackle. So here's Roof. Now for France, if they want any chance of winning this game, they do need 3 tries in 90 seconds. It is pretty impossible, you'd have to say, although they do move up to 25 metres out from the line. Going back across Andy Timo. Uh-oh. Time is off here. There's a double blow of the whistle from AJ Jacobs. I believe this is down to an injury. Oh no, they actually want to check something. And poof, nothing to see here. So here's Jimbo. Right, this is an interesting one. Because France were on attack. So something must have happened that looked quite bad. George Balsey, is it? Oh no, it's Sanila. Oh, okay. So what's happened there is Sanila's probably going to get a red card. The French player lands on his head and gets slammed down. So this is going to be a red card for Sanila. But France could have actually still had an opportunity of scoring in that scenario. So I feel like it stopped their chance of winning, but they are still going to be in a scenario where they can score some form of points. It's not the first red card that we're seeing from Fiji in this competition either. Actually, their second. And Toso Vititoso, see Setavini there, and Donovan Don looked great in the Curry Cup this year, and I was impressed with him for the Blitzbox this tournament. He had a phenomenal season for Borland, I believe it was, in the Curry Cup, wasn't it? For Donovan Don. And he seems like he's come a long way in just the last maybe year and a half or so for the Sevens. Ball's going to be fed in, Arto. Breaking off the back, George Balsey trying to make that tackle, but just not quite having the pace to get to him. Dezay. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Vakadranu manages to rip it back for the Fijians close to the sideline, but ball's still in the field of play. Emmanuel Moisamo going back across to the right-hand side. Fiji trying to sneak through. Another big shot there on George Balsey. Kulunisau needs to bring in young players. Sie Setavini. Yeah, see, it's a tricky one for Fiji, isn't it? Because they've got a few of those older guys in there. And I think that was one of the big complaints that they got about this squad that they did select. Like, third, getting the bronze isn't too bad for Fiji, but they are a side that like to pride themselves on getting those gold medals. I guess Boland, he was a big contributor to a few of their underdog upset wins. Says Rory. Now the ball's still there for the French big wrestling match going on with Bolsey. And that is going to be the penalty now won by Fiji. New Fiji will win this game. Says Bruce. Uh-oh. Little bit of push and shove here. Andy Temu not happy. Now Zadar getting in there too. And this is getting close to a little bit ugly between these two sides. It's not the first time over this weekend that we've seen push and shove happening. Andy Temo, though, frustrated with that decision. Oh, a little bit of a push there from Delamere too. Right, AJ Jacobs may even go upstairs and check this. Captain's being called over. The penalty was going to be in favour of Fiji. Okay, the penalty is going to be reversed, and France are going to get themselves the penalty for Fiji instigating the push and shove. I think Australia women will win the gold, and New Zealand men will win the gold. Says Rory there. That's kind of the ideal scenario. Or the other way around. New Zealand women win, Australia men win. I feel like one nation winning both doesn't do a lot for the competition. Whereas 1-1, that gives you a little bit of something to work towards. But yeah, with only the 8 teams, I feel like some people are already going off the 7, so having 2 of the same country winning, I think would put more people off, if that makes sense. And another penalty going the way of France. Now taking the quick tap here, going to the left-hand side. They would like one more try in this contest, as they did get themselves the earlier one. But now passing on the outside, a toe. Look close to a forward pass. Now nice step being shown off. Ball's still there. Pauline River Goes back across to the right-hand side. Now skip pass for Les Bleus. Delamere. It's one-on-one with Balsi. He's going to be tackled low, though, by Manueli Maisamo, who came flying in. And this time the penalty is won by George Balsi. Brilliant work from him. He looks absolutely exhausted. Quick tap taken by Manueli Maisamo. He will kick it into touch. And Fiji win this game 24 points to 7. They take out the bronze in Dubai. It's a decent result for Fiji. They will be strong next week in Cape Town from what we have seen throughout this competition. But now it is just the two finals that are taking place. Thank you, France and Fiji. See Sitavini there and Fijian flags from Anthony. Well, I said Fiji could smash France hard. And easy, says Jimbo. Oh, okay, a little bit more going on. Andy Timo having a bit of a push and a shove with George Balsi there. I'm not too sure what's happened. Okay, Balsi having a bit of a chat to Andy Timo, who is in a really bad mood. Okay, I think Andy Timo at the moment, he is getting pulled away by the Fijian. Oh no, that is the French coach who went over and was pulling Andy Timo away from the Fijian players. I have no idea what started that, but yeah, Andy Timo not a fan of losing by the looks of it there against this Fijian side in a game that wasn't even that close. 24 points to 7 in favour of the Flying Fijians there. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in to this live stream. We have got about 7 minutes before the next live stream does start up. So if you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.